Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are out all over this fine world of ours here. We've got a fun little first round matchup in SpeedGaming Live 2021 ALTTPR Randomizer tournament here. On your left, you see we have Laoria there. On the right, you see we have Kyong. This is going to be a very, very interesting race. It's going to be a ton of fun. Both of these runners, very good. Kyong, in particular, very well known in the community. One of the creators of the Z3R sim. Laoria, fantastic runner in her own right there. Also, very good sprite choices on her side, I would say. And today I am, my name is Dazed Cloud, and as always, well, not always, but as preferred, joined in the booth by Clearmouse today. How you doing there?
I'm doing awesome, especially after that intro. Man, Days, I'm excited for this match. As you said, we got Lao versus Kyong, and yeah, both of them have quite a slew of accolades, of course, attached to their names. Lao's also very active in the community. I think she also has made some MSUs that have gone over very well in the community. Of course, Kyong, as you mentioned, Kyong is a scarily crazy good runner. In fact, actually, last year he won the SpeedGaming International Portuguese community as first place. And unfortunately, if SGL were in person, he would have actually been able to get a free trip over to the United States and play in person. But real life circumstances unfortunately happened, and here we are. And of course, last year he ended up finishing, I believe, actually in the semifinals. Eventually, actually got knocked out by Gem, who played second place. So, got some very, very excellent talent here being put on display.
Yep, and this is you have basically filled in everybody here, but basically what we got here, this mode is kind of modified casual boots. Hopefully you've been watching a few of these races here. They start off with boots and a sword, but there's been a few changes to this format there. You as we pull a bottle there from our first chest of the day. I think you're a little bit more familiar with those than I am there, Clearmouse.
Yeah, actually, so speaking of, actually, that's that first bottle. That's actually part of this item set change that we actually see in this modified casual boots. So there are going to be 4 bottles placed, but we're only ever going to be able to hold on to 2 of them. The remaining ones are going to turn to 5 rupees, and bottles are always going to come so in this case, you're not going to be able to get a free fairy, a free potion. I guess the good news is that you are less likely to be part of the accidental fairy rival club in a dungeon. But of course, at the same time, you are also kind of short that freebie safety, and it's surprisingly actually had a really strong effect, which is on some of these races. Because you always got that oh yeah, I've got a green potion, I picked that up somewhere, I got a red potion. It's like, oh no, wait, I don't have anything. I need to actually go out of my way in order to get one.
Yeah, no, that's kind of a big deal there. Is all of a sudden you go from, all in the back of your mind going, yeah, I think I'm okay here, to, oh, do I need to go over to the witch's hut? Do I need to go, well, not in this case, you don't need to fake flipper because we just got those, but,
now that we have flippers, yeah, we can swim over there, we can dash over there, yeah, we can do slew things.
And as you can see from the bottom of the screen there, one of the features of the SpeedGaming Live tournament is this is webcam required, so I can already see Lao making some very interesting faces when she picked up those flippers there a second ago.
Oh my gosh, dude, Days, the webcam is the absolute best part of this entire tournament. It's just that, you always, get to see these, top runners who execute, the gameplay. It is really, of course, entertaining to see and really impressive. Wow, Lao is so fast that she even beat the key drop in order to get to the cell. But you get to see their reactions, right? In this case, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just did that. Kyong, I think, historically has been a bit more poker-faced. Certainly be interesting to see when he ends up showing a little bit more emotion.
Stoic might be a good word there.
Stone-faced, he is able to keep calm under pressure. There was actually, I think, in the semis against Zhang, he decided to take an aggressive play into Dark Aga, and he ended up getting lost in the maze. His face was just no emotion. Like you could tell, you could maybe guess that he was a bit nervous because getting lost in Dark Aga is a very uncomfortable situation, especially in the semifinals. But Kyong kept it all to himself, and he was able to just pull right through.
Both runners are now making their way to the back of Escape right now. They've got Princess Zelda in tow. On Lao's side, we've got Twilight Princess Zelda leading Zelda, which is always a fun.
Is this some sort of like Zelda-ception type of thing?
Yeah, it's my preferred way to see this game start here. For a second there, I thought Kyong had gone so fast that he had lost Zelda, but then I realized she was just trailing behind him.
Kyong is so fast, right, that even Zelda can't keep up with him.
This is just one of those, just like the movement's so good there that you kind of almost miss the rubber banding of your follower there.
Yeah, actually, so you do also bring up a good point. So for the fact that we do start with boots and escape, right? You actually see a lot of these runners, especially in the top 128, their dash lines, throughout escape is just so clean, right? They know exactly where to dash. Unfortunately, this key rat gave Kyong a little bit of trouble, but like how many bonks have they had? Kyong even has like a free key dash. He got a key dash there, right? I mean,
Right.
they just basically know like exactly like where to go in order to get very clean movement.
Yeah, and it's very impressive there. It's just like, because typically we talk about, okay, if you're doing a standard escape, you want to, if you can do a sub 6, everything is generally okay. Anything below that's gravy. For this, you can see Kyung is basically a room away from finishing up Sanctuary here, and it is, well, how did you bonk there? But
he's just too fast.
But yeah, he's done the entire thing with basically a 5:15 coming out of Sank. Lao's not far behind by any means. She's gonna come out probably close to about a 5:25. But that kind of just shows you exactly what you're going up against here when you're in a race like this.
That's right. All right, looks like we actually got a quick map check from Kyung. Looks like I saw crystals in Eastern and Hera, and then Pendant Deserts.
I believe that's right there. I didn't actually get to catch what was in Desert there. I'm kind of hoping that our trackers did today. Big shout outs to our tracker there. Hi, I'm Cody. Clicking the buttons here behind the screen and kind of letting us know exactly, what actually is going on so far.
Yeah, trackers are always appreciated. Oh man, and of course, that the bird is unfortunately not gonna let Kyung get a good time, but she did find a little bit more magic, so a little bit of magic is always kind of like nice to have, just in case you end up finding a magic-hungry item, such as like the fire rod. Oh, hello! Oh, wow, please be careful. Overworld deaths are not favored, especially because we can always just warp over by saving and waiting somewhere.
Yeah, you've got to be a little bit careful there when you're going through things. You don't want to end up with yourself hurting, getting yourself in trouble.
Yeah, so as also confirmed on Lao's side, Kyung did also find Ether Medallion on Lumberjack. So we're quite a ways away from knowing what our medallion entries are, if we even need them to begin with. Something always to, in this case, keep in the back of your heads.
Yeah, that Ether Medallion is just going to sit there as, do we need this? Well, we're not going to know until later, so we've got to get into Dark World before we can have even the slightest idea whether or not we're going to need that. But with it being there, that's a bit spicy here, as Kyung goes over and uses just a bit of game knowledge to get a free bomb off the bonk rocks right outside of this fortune teller's hut, north of Kakariko.
Yeah, and of course, this is actually one of those, not necessarily hidden, but like maybe, as you said, game knowledge, right? And specifically very, very beneficial in casual boots. Just specifically in this case, right? You see actually doing the same thing, where you didn't find any bombs in Escape. You don't really have that much money you want to go buy bombs on. Spend 50 rupees, but still want to pay off like bottle vendor. But you've got boots. You can bomb for free. You may as well end up being able to get a couple bombs to get you safely through Kakariko.
Yeah, definitely. And we're going to use this first bomb after picking up a glove here in Blind's hut. And the first 4 chests, we're going to use that bomb to get 20 rupees. I mean, not really what you're hoping for there, but yep, that'll work. As we need money for bottle vendor, and well, we'll have to see whether or not we go up to Zora. As also powder here down in Blind Hill.
Yeah, the flippers and glove, you know, kind of, you know, I want to say like doubly point to Zora, but it's like you got flippers and you probably were thinking like, oh man, do I actually need Zora money? And then you got the gloves, like, well, now it's, you know, not only can I get there by swimming, I can also get there by lifting the rock. But you know, Kyong just found 300 rupees in the back of the well, so that's actually a much more value propositional bomb spending, right? As opposed to like the one that we used up at Blind's Hut.
Right, definitely. Like you come in and you're just kind of hoping, you know what, I would really like about 300 rupees right now if I have to even consider Zora, as we did pick up the flute there, which is Kyong is now activating. So yeah, now the choice is, what are you gonna do exactly? Are you gonna run yourself up to Zora here? Where are you gonna go? Because you've now opened up a considerable amount of the world.
Yeah, and the fact that so we have the food in Kakariko. We also found a bottle you know, like before we came into Kakariko. So basically, almost all of our errands in Kakariko are basically filled, with maybe the exception of Magic Bat. If they find the hammer, of course. Close, we found another piece of the Dark World puzzle, which is our good pearl. You know, if we find the hammer, we can just actually go check everything. We never have to come back.
Yeah, no, this is kind of nice here. So far, this has been really interesting. So, Kyung, we're gonna motor our way up to Sick Kid, see if we can get that hammer that you were talking about. But not just gonna be a piece of art here. As a shout outs to Lao there, freeing the chicken. Always a good thing.
Yeah, we're saving the animals today.
Apparently, I think that's the other game, but I mean, it'll work for this game too. So yeah, okay. So Kyung, yeah, we're just blasting our way through Kakariko. At this point, yeah, it does kind of come up to a choice of exactly what you're gonna do with that flute. I know, personally, I'm kind of a big fan of doing kind of just a general left to right sweep of the Dark World. Maybe flute down to 6, get Agahnim's cave out of the way. But probably the more standard place, the flute to 7, get your dam and get your mini Moldorm cave, and yep, that looks like what Kyung's gonna go ahead and do.
Yeah, and of course, speaking of, so Kyung ended up picking up the 20 rupees that was actually in the mushroom spot. So he's actually a little bit ahead of Lao. Of course, minus like the 50 rupees she also decided to spend for bombs here. So being so close to Zora money, I'm sure he's really hoping to kind of get that last hump over in, let's say, Mini Moldorm Cave, Ice Rock Cave, and then he can go right over.
Yeah, no, definitely. We got this. Now Lao's also taking a second here, picking up that boomerang there. Now remind me here if I'm right, Clear Mouse. Now in this mode, we don't actually have heart containers. We only have heart pieces.
We have actually so this is actually a good point. So in the modified item pool, to be slightly more competitive, we have 2 heart containers, 2 regular heart containers, 1 sanctuary heart. And then the remaining things are going to be heart pieces to get us up to a total of 14 hearts maximum.
Right. Okay, I remember that there's something, I just couldn't quite remember which way it was here. It's like I kind of mentioned, I've been sitting this tournament out because of things. So not 100% sure. I'm relying on you greatly to fill this in, as we got the bug net and our second bottle here out of Mini Moldorm Cave. Now Kyung, sitting there on 1 heart, is about to go somewhere else.
Please be careful, Kyung.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh man. So of course, Kyung, on 1 heart, as you said, this is quite dangerous because, well, I guess these crabs are going to do 2 hearts, so I guess it probably doesn't really matter how much health Kyung has. I guess as he is dashing through that bomb, sorry, the grass, you can actually see there are hidden traps underneath, and he took very much care to be able to avoid getting hit by the bomb. Oh no, Lao. That is really unfortunate.
Lao was charging up her sword there, but unfortunately was charging her sword in kind of the wrong direction there. It looks like Kyung, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take that. We armed a water walk there out of Iprod Cave. I think we're headed towards the northern area here in just a sec.
Yeah, so it looks like actually no island check or hobo check quite yet. But I'm sure Kyong has other plans to make sure that he doesn't leave too many things behind. But yeah, actually, so it was okay. Hi,
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 Bo.
Bo. Yeah. So okay. So we have actually a lot to discuss here. So as part of also the modified item pool, this is probably one of the only modes where you will actually see bows being non-progressive. What Kyong picked up is the one and only bow. If you end up finding silvers, like there's actually totally separate items. You find the silvers before the bow, you cannot shoot any arrows until you find that bow.
Right, yeah, the non-progressive bows are making a comeback for this mode there. There's been a lot of discussion about which way to do, whether or not progressive bows were the way to go in the community. There's people with strong opinions. My opinion is basically, let's play the game. I like the game.
That's an awesome opinion.
Yeah, and I'll worry about the rest later. But yeah, no, we are actually seeing the return of the regular old bow, and like you mentioned, silvers are back to being an item, so we get to see that very, very nice little silver arrow icon there that I remember from back in the day.
Yeah, that's right. All right, looks like Kyong is willing to, after he, got his, I guess even he pulled out another deposit from the Ice Arcade Bank of Southern Hyrule. He says, you know what, I'm willing to spend some of my money on bombs here. Yeah, speaking of, so the double blue rupee is indicative of, in this case, most likely it's gonna be a bottle, just because we are capped at 2, which both these runners have, and that means that we are actually not going to be able to get any more bottles.
Yeah, no, and I'm gonna say right now, Lau's reaction there on her webcam to seeing that double rupee was about the same as mine, I believe. I just kind of was this, what the?
Yes, I believe the explanation that we were given was that if it's a replacement for blue rupees, because blue rupees are really, I guess, like slim, right? If it's replacing a larger size like icon, like a bottle, fire shield, or something like that, it's gonna show up basically as 2 blue rupees. That was the explanation we were given.
Alright. Well, we got Leo going up into Waterfall Cave here, about to go get her bow, and Kyung's gonna go ahead and go into Eastern Palace really fast and clear out our first dungeon of the day.
Really
It looks
fast,
like.
that's right.
Well, yeah, we got those boots here, and this is where the game kind of you would imagine this would be a very good place for the game to teach you to use the boots. I mean, that's what Desert Palace is really for. But unfortunately, in the vanilla game, you don't get boots in here, so you get to walk through all of these nice, long, straight, narrow passages.
Yeah, I actually wonder, like, if part of the game design from developers was, this is the first dungeon of the game, and it's like, man, like, these are really long hallways. If only I had something faster to which I could move. And then you get the boots, right, from basically the prize of Eastern Palace. Like, oh man, that's actually really. So maybe it helps you appreciate the boots more. I've always wondered that.
Yeah, that's a big question there. As Leo gets her piece of heart there from Zora, decides I don't want to pick that up, and takes off. Yeah, but I've always kind of wondered that. I mean, Desert Palace is obvious boot testing ground, right? Because you just you've got tons and tons of space, straight up. And let's get a Cane of Samaria here out of
that is really nice
Eastern.
to see. So we don't actually know if Ice Palace is in this case a crystal or pendant, but you always want the Cane of Samaria early. It is like, I guess technically I think it doesn't have to necessarily be required, but I mean, like, in this scene it's almost always required at this point. So you definitely want to see it sooner rather than later. And, it has so many new uses, right? For example, Diver Down in Swan Palace, Icebreaker in Ice Palace. I mean, you definitely want them to save your time. Speaking of dark rooms, Kyung here is, of course, who needs a lamp these days? He has 0 problems in basically navigating his way through to the big chest of the palace.
Yeah, that's one of those things that you kind of have to learn, and it's one of those decisions that you make in this area here is whether or not you want to skip the Eastern Palace big chest, and today, if you decide to make that skip, and I'm curious if Leo decides to do that, because if you're gonna go up against Kyong, in your back of your head, you got to think, all right,
That is a very excellent point.
yeah, on an execution battle, I'm probably not gonna win this, right? So in that case, maybe I gotta take a gamble. Maybe I don't do the Eastern Palace big key chest there. And if that's the gamble you make today, I mean your map's there, you're gonna win that.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, so don't let Kyong in this case like fool you, basically, because he basically like did those hallways like as if he had a lamp. But it's almost like a minute in this case, right? That saves if you end up making that gamble. It's purely 50-50, of course. So all kind of up to what you are interested in. Your risk versus reward profile.
Right, and when we get into risk versus reward, now the unfortunate part of that is that if you make that gamble and it turns out you were wrong and there was something important in that chest, congratulations, you just lost the game.
That's
Like-
never happened before. It's not like there were ever like gloves or like myths or something. Right?
Yeah, there's never anything super important on on that eastern side there. But I mean, you got to be. It's a decision that people have to make. As Kyong just takes down
Just
the Armos Knights,
everything. Yeah.
perfectly
So
done there.
Yeah. One thing potentially to consider is that right now we don't have that lamp, so whatever is back there technically is not in logic. So I don't know if that will, make a further consideration for our runners.
Yeah, no, that raises an interesting question. Where exactly is our items at this point here? Because we know that from Leo's side there that we don't have a hammer or mitts in the back of Sasharalla's because she was here earlier. But that kind of is leading the question. Well, what do we have left? We've got the mountain and we've got Gina's cave, right?
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, even if we wanted to try to do Agahnim for Darkhold access, we're still missing that lamp. I guess technically, like, as probably these runners, are at least, willing to maybe at least make an attempt. You can technically do it in the dark, but we still need like a second sword or like a cape in order to get in. So. And of course, you'd much rather see a cape. Me's rather see like a sword or two in this case versus a cape. What a clutch fairy!
Lucky fairy there. As it looks like Agahnim's cave was not the answer over on Kyung's side there. So, but yeah, Leo taking a little bit of damage there, but able to get that clutch fairy at the end. We're gonna go back into the Igor room as Kyung makes his way up to the mountain. They were gonna go save an old man real quick in the dark.
Yeah, I mean, apparently this is okay. So for the record, like we're Eastern time zone. It is pretty dark outside, right? This is why we can't see anything on the screen. I don't know where you are, Days. Apparently it's morning over there. Maybe you can close the curtains for immersion.
It's 10 a.m.
I mean, if you turn off the lights and close all the windows, right? It can still be dark. Oh my gosh! Did you see that reaction? It's like that look of relief to finally be able to make it to safety. Wow. I'm
not 100% sure, but I want to say the bottom right pot in that first room has a heart there, and
Oh no! Oh my god! Oh no!
think she's gonna remember that for next time.
She got through. I mean, that Igor room is like in the dark. Is no joke. Especially on which started with 4 hearts and Fighter Sword, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately, yeah, that's where we're gonna have to run back through here. I'm almost. I don't know if. At that point, I almost wonder if you're better off just coming back later, hopefully with a
hookshot,
thing, hookshot, a couple of other things, because yeah, hookshot up here is meaning Kyung's now got the entire Paradox Cave side of the mountain open, so we're gonna see that in just a minute because nothing else to do.
Yeah,
but
so and Leo and Kyong are kind of both demonstrating in this case as actually part of the effects of the modified item set, right? Because we are limited on 2 heart containers and 3 heart containers essentially, and everything else is heart pieces. the health growth is very gradual, right? Because the chance of picking up heart pieces is actually much higher, and you need 4 of them to get another heart, right? So we're actually seeing, and especially in the early game, you're not gonna end up, picking up a random heart container or 2, something like that, in order to get yourself suddenly you're like 6 to 8 hearts. You're gonna be on 4 to 5 hearts for quite some time.
Now, I kind of like this little idea here from Leo, because we're gonna go down. We're gonna pick up put a fairy in a bottle, refill our health, and at this point, you're safe.
What a nice bug net, right? The bug net certainly has like grown in value because of this tournament, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, the number one thing of this, as we pick up the myths here out of Paradox Cave, number one thing about this game is stay alive.
Yes.
Dying is slow. Let's try not to do that. And once you do that less and less, your times get faster and faster.
Yeah. Of course, unless we're in a dungeon and we want a death ward without the mirror, which I think right now they are avidly searching for.
All right. Okay. Leo is made it through the dark room here. Got a heart and a little bit. Should be okay now. I say, hoping not to curse her.
Okay, that is one very slim Zelda, being able to sneak through those cannonballs.
I mean, that dress does look good on her, I will say that.
Alright, so Kyong, though, is making his way through Spiral Cave. Yeah, he does need to be, just like Leo, he needs to be a little bit careful, as you said. Dying is bad in the open world. Luckily, he ended up finding some help. Just in time to get hit by a dead rock.
As that is their purpose, is to get in your way and hit you and just kind of make you say bad things. So we get a map check here. So we got, that's a pod pendant, I want to say, a green pendant, and a swamp.
Okay, I caught a red crystal on Thieves.
Okay, so between the two of us, we've got 3 out of the 4 interesting items there in the Dark World. There's one more red crystal in there. Didn't catch it. Gonna just leave that to the tracker and be like, if you got that, good on you, bud. And Kyong, gonna go into Super Bunny Cave now. Since we got those myths, let's check out all of Dark Death Mountain while we're up here. Nothing in Super Bunny Cave, but we are going to make our way down to Hookshot Cave. Yeah, really quick. Get a quick look here. Now, the other thing is we did see that ether that ether medallion on the lumberjack today.
Yeah, so I think once Kyong is done here, he's going to probably at least check out the Eternal Rock Medallion. Just because I think we know it's going to be a crystal, so we're going to go find it somewhere at some point.
Oh god, Lau, be careful here. 4 hearts climbing.
Oh, and unfortunately misses the swim speed. Oh jeez.
This is. All right, so Bombos on Turtle Rock there was able to go see that. Okay, Leo gets her way all the way up there. A little bit of relief on her face, I'd say. Kyong is now gonna.
Yeah.
We're gonna take those boots and go over to thing there. Okay, Leo going for the hover there.
Wow.
This is a trick I did not know she could do.
I was also, but so okay, so Kyong ends up finding out, he's got picked up Master Sword from Kingston, but the fact that she only has 1 heart, maybe she was not interested in using any bombs.
Oh wow, her face after she failed the second one was hilarious. I love that. That's fantastic. If nothing else, that wins the match for me. Kyong, yeah, like you mentioned, picking up that thing at Kingston, was that also Bombos?
That looked like ether to me, which I believe we might need to go pay ourselves a visit to the top of the tower.
Oh goody. I think you can tell from Kyung's reaction there that he is extremely happy about that, or hungry, or I'm not sure exactly what that reaction is.
It's late over there.
He could just be tired. Fair enough.
Hopefully he's had dinner by now. But so that is actually good news. At some point we are gonna have to do Aga. We are still out of logic at this point. because we still don't have that lamp. So the good news, at least maybe for Kyong, although maybe he's not too worried, is him having to rush Agahnim immediately and then going into Mire, let's say, with Master Sword and, just Master Sword.
Right, yeah, you wouldn't have a whole lot of interest in doing doing Vitreous right now with 6 hearts and green mail and Master Sword. You go, you know what, maybe I can wait on that one, and especially since you'd have to go through Dark Aga there. I mean, the moment that he finds a fire source, whether it's Fire Rod or the lamp, Kyung will have no problem going through Aga. That won't be a thing. Even if he has to do Dark Aga, if that turns out to be the best routing option at the time, I have 100% faith that will be able to do that.
If he can do it once, he could do it again. That's what I've been told.
Alright, and it looks like going through Skull Woods right now is Lao's gonna go ahead and clean up the rest of the mountain here, and grab a couple of bombs out of a spiral cave. Man, these upward facing bomb jumps. It's I might just throw myself down a pit here twice, honestly.
and so this is one of those times where maybe dying in a dungeon is gonna be worth your time.
Yeah, maybe wait until you get back to the pinball room, because you're gonna go clear out all of the front here, because at the moment we've found exactly 0 items, and still finding 0 items.
We are continuing to find 0 items, and we got a bunch of keys, and the big key. Oh my gosh. Alright, okay, so this one has to be an item at this point, because we found the map and the compass and the big key and a bunch of...
Nope, this does not have to be an item.
This can still be a small key? Oh, right, because we have 2 more in the back.
It's the hammer, though.
But it's a great item in this case to find. Kyong finding value here in the front of Skull Woods. That is, well, so at least we have the hammer. Which means we can actually go into Crystal Thieves Town at this point and just full clear without a worry in the world.
Yeah,
I mean, other than surviving and stuff, but
Right. I mean, Thieves Town just went from well, I guess I have to make a decision there and decide what to do to oh, I got hammer. I'm gonna go beat Thieves Town.
Yeah.
There's not a question at all here. So.
Yeah, and typically sometimes, without the hammer, you can see runners kind of trying to explore the rest of the village of Alcad before going into Thieves for a slightly, slower route. Just because, you find a hammer, you're golden, right? But in this case, Kyong's probably just going to, do what he normally does and just go straight in.
Yeah, well, first we're gonna go check out what's around the Thieves Town here. Check the village area just to see if there's anything. Got a heart container out of that, so, fairly healthy right now. 7 hearts. Probably feeling a little bit better there. But, yeah, now into Thieves Town. We got 4 items in here. Let's start off with our Tempered Sword.
Yeah, oh, wow. So, alright, so Kyong now, most likely is just feeling super comfortable, especially, runners who are very, skilled at execution. Tempered Sword plus boots, they probably don't need much else. They're gonna be very, very well practiced and basically make the rest of the boots.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine we're gonna see Kyong having too much trouble, with anything here, as Lao gives us that look on for what was there. Yeah, that is 100% ether.
Yep, looks like she also makes the same realization that, at some point she's gonna have to go pay Agahnim a visit. Of course, being the similar position that Kyong was in a couple minutes ago, she probably is not looking necessarily forward to the trip, just based on the current set of equipment. However, based on what we have seen on Kyong's side, once we end up finding, like a lamp or something, right, or a fire rod for that matter, we're gonna get Tempered Sword, we're gonna be able to see everything, it's gonna be much more comfortable.
Yeah, and it's not as big of a deal there. I mean, it's not the most fun part of the thing. It's not like you go into Aga Tower or anything and all of a sudden get new items or anything. It's just the same thing that you've done 100 times. But at the end, you do know that you can beat the game. There's not time saves really in it. There's only ways to lose time necessarily.
That's a great way of putting it, actually, right? It's like you can't gain time, but oh heck, you could sure lose time in that dungeon.
Yeah, if you start, doing something like getting lost in the maze or something like that, you can have some troubles there. Especially if you're trying to do it in the dark, it gets really finicky really quickly. But either way, not really a big deal. I can't really imagine we're gonna see either runner prioritize that unless there's just some sort of until we see some sort of a fire source here. So good for Lao that now that she's come into oh well, she didn't go to the back yet, so she's checking the first chest. Now is she gonna go to the back? Okay, she is gonna go to the back. This is good for her because this means she will get her hammer.
Yeah, and we of course know from Kyong's exploration is that the last item is going to be somewhere in the back, and it's going to be fire rod locked, which we cannot pick up in the front of Skull Woods, or anywhere for that matter. Which, of course, we are going to need today somewhere.
Now, interestingly enough here, that we do pull out the small key out of blind cells, so we're gonna get to see what's in this Thieves Town big chest. Probably that's a blue cane of curiosity right there.
Yeah, that is actually very interesting. So this actually does put Spike Cave in logic as well, because we do have our invincibility item.
Right, that's like one item, one location in the entire game has now been opened up, and so we're gonna have to put a little pin in that as a maybe something that we check eventually. That's at this point though, the mountain is like 100% cleared outside of Tower of Hera, so I can't see either of the runners making any sort of like great early play for just that one single location, especially when you've got the entire game available to you. As oh god. Alright.
She might take your advice and just well no, she doesn't want to die anymore in dungeons. I was actually wondering if because she was on half heart earlier, maybe it's been easier to take a brief fall. That red boomerang is really coming in handy for her.
Yeah, it took a second there, picked it up in the library there. It does mean that she actually has access to the stun prize right now. The stun prize being a 4 bomb pack, which is nice.
Yeah, it certainly could be useful.
Gotta get through this last little room here. There you go, stuns the red beetle. And okay, one more.
She just needs to survive long enough to get the hammer. That's it.
All right, we're good. All right, got the hammer. Gets the Wallmaster Express out of the dungeon, and everything's good. Gets his chuckle out of her as well, as Kyong is into the digging game right now. Gonna see exactly how many digs we have to do to find out what items buried underneath the soil here.
Oh, and looks like Leo's actually gonna give us another check that I don't think Kyong actually made. He's gonna see what's on Bumper Ledge, so we don't have the cape yet, so we can't actually get it. Not sure if that's going to be worthwhile for our runners, because actually even getting up there is still quite a time commitment. It is for blue mail, but of course the good news is that just like I guess maybe what you're more familiar with the standard heart item pool, there are going to be 2 armors in the game, but you're going to be capped at 1, at blue mail in this case. So there is another armor floating out there somewhere. If you're not willing to invest the time, or we never find the cape for that matter.
Alright, so Kyung taking a second and went ahead and went back to go get our little froggy friend as we find our first green 20 of the game.
Yep, those are so those are our replacement boots. So those of you who might be more familiar with like ladder races for casual boots, unfortunately we don't get another boots icon. You just get the green 20.
Right, we kind of do it some of the other ways when you're playing hard mode here. But what this kind of suggests to me with Kyung taking the Smiths with him is that we're not going to be heading independent pod. We're deciding to put that off and not deal with that yet. We're instead heading into Hype Cave, gonna grab well, a couple of things. First, just a heart container and a heart container, and I was about to say if I said heart container 5 times, I was gonna laugh.
Oh my gosh! All right, so I guess the best part of Hype Cave was that Kyung was able to get another heart, maximum heart out of it. That's probably the best thing. I mean, and we're actually watching, right? I think they probably end up picking up like 2 heart containers at this point, but everything else, right? Kyung's up to what, like 8 hearts, 9 hearts at this point. And always a few heart pieces, right? So the growth is very gradual.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you can get through it's like a lot of these more theoretically difficult modes, if you can get through the beginning of the game is the worst part because, you know, that's where you're down on low health. But like once you've picked up a few items, I mean, if you tell Kyong, hey, you're gonna get green mail, but you're gonna have tempered sword and 9 hearts, he's gonna just kind of shrug his shoulders and be like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, if you told him like, hey, you're going to be on 5 hearts and green mail and tempered sword, it's like you probably also shrug his shoulders and
Yeah,
say it's fine too.
He's an expressive cat, that guy. So we're gonna take a quick look at our powder turn in today. That is just gonna be 3 bombs there, so nothing of interest there. We're gonna keep moving on and see exactly what Kyong wants to do next. Now he did turn in the smiths. Now the decision comes: do you want to do purple chest? Do you want to go to pod? What exactly you want to do? And it's looking more like a purple chest is the choice here.
Yeah, I mean, so far it seems like the Kyong, not only is he, you know, very high, he's being very thorough, right, in his exploration, and he's also kind of demonstrating just how valuable that mirror is when it comes to saving time and convenience.
Yeah.
You know, and at least he has the flute, right, in order to kind of like get back to the center of the village. But I mean, imagine if you do this like fluteless, boothless, mirrorless, right? It's bad.
It's brutal.
Yeah,
we are going to get hammer pigs as well, though, because he decided not to do hammer pigs the first time that he came through here. He decided to route this in with purple when he did his purple chest, and survey says 50 rupees that we do not need. So let's go pick up this purple chest, probably see a quick save and quit, and we are off.
Yeah, and at this point, you know, Kyong also, you know, his route has been very efficient. He has not isolated anything at this point, right? Because once, you know, he's cleared all of Thieves Town, he's done all of Village of Outcasts, and is now, after the purple chest turn in, he has nothing left in the area, basically, to take it back there.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing when you're playing up against Kyong. You know he's not going to skip anything.
Oh, yeah. So speaking of, Kyong just got a very convenient, I guess, magic refill. That is our replacement for half magic. So for those of you who are maybe slightly more dependent on the extra magic ability, you know, resource that you end up getting, so you can spare the fire rod, that's not going to happen this tournament.
So I'm trying to see ways that for this, because I mean Kyong is fairly significantly ahead at the moment here. Now, I think the biggest thing for Leo to gain back some time would be to just not do Smith Chain. It's a little hard to do that. You'd have to be gambling on Pendant Pod, but I mean, anybody who knows Leo will pretty much say that she likes Pendant Pod. She always says there's something in Pendant Pod. So
all right, well, we're gonna take a sneak peek on Kyong's side to see whether or not she's correct for this particular seed.
Yeah, we're gonna find out pretty quickly here. I'm curious to see how much she's willing to stick to her guns. As we've got we've got a small key in the front, so we've got to go deeper. And that's kind of what you do in Palace of Darkness here. You're likely going to find at least 4 keys in the front, possibly 5, possibly 6 if the game's really being screwy. And at that point, you've got to find the items which tend to be in the back.
Yeah, well, you ideally, of course, yeah, and not only are you gonna find a bunch of keys, there are also 2 dungeon items that unfortunately we also don't want to see early on. Especially because this is a pendant, right? Because, you know, like the earlier we actually see the real items, like the sooner we can just get out.
Yeah, I think one of the big decisions for both of these runners might come to you if you're already in here. You're gonna clean out basically as many of the items as you can, right? You're gonna try to get all 5 items, hope for all 5 items, and hope that Helma Sword maybe doesn't have something. But the decision goes, Helma Sword is a green pendant. You want to take the time to go ahead and do that as well.
If only we had a mirror taste in this case.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a fun dungeon to route here, especially with. Okay,
well, you know what? Never mind. I guess I'm you know what, I'm on both these runner sides because, you know, Kyong ends up finding the mirror in Pendant Pod, of course, but, you know, Leo was the one who said there is always something in Pendant Pod, so they both win, right?
Yeah, no, you spoke that one into being here, and I think unfortunately for Leo right now, she has pulled the Smith, so it looks like we're probably doing that. Not, you know, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you at some point you don't want to skip things, but unfortunately for her, like I kind of wonder if she might have been better to just kind of go for that skip at this point. But hey, you know, that's second guessing on my part. You got to kind of play the seed as you think is the best way.
Yeah, I guess right. So she can also still save some time if she doesn't end up doing a couple chests, right? Especially without that mirror. We also saw how much longer it took Kyong. Another potential path that she could take is she can actually still just go straight to Pendant Pod from here. She doesn't necessarily have to turn into the Smith. The Smith could just magically morph into Kiki. Later on, she has to go that way.
That is an interesting way of saying of telling everyone that Kiki does not eat the Smith.
Kiki, I believe, is a tag team. You know, you don't know. You know, like maybe the Smith is interested in seeing what it is like. You know, underneath some shade. And you know, speaking of, maybe this is going to be a pyramid check, which we actually haven't seen on Kel's side yet.
We haven't seen Pyramid, we haven't seen Catfish, so if we're gonna do the full, you know, Dark World tour here, we're gonna do the Smith World tour, as we kind of call it. Well, we'll see what we got here. Now, I was not counting items in pods, so not 100% sure. That's a shovel, though, sitting on the pyramid.
We were just there in the Dark World. Well, you know, so that mirror would be even more convenient at this point.
I think I'm gonna have to say again, shout outs to Leo's facial reactions here. Picking up that shovel with this look of, I'm not sure, disdain or just like, ah, oh, God, you, the kind of thing, the kind of look, which is cracking me up.
We should have counters, right, for how many times runners in this case makes reactions. I think Kyong's gonna probably, if we get one out of Kyong, I think that's gonna be a victory. Versus like true. Leo here, right? You know, I think she's probably racked at least like 10 or 15 at this point.
Yeah, no, the expression meter off the charts there. As Kyung's gonna make his way into Tower of Hera right now. This might be an opportunity where we do see a Spike Cave check here. Unfortunately, trying to go for our get our Herapod action on here, but got nailed by that one of those little Denalfo, no, those little guys. Oh, Tadongos? Yeah, Kudongos, right. In this game, they're Kudongos, I remember now. Kyung deciding, okay, since we're in a fairy room, we're gonna go ahead and pick up a fairy there, so easy time, good time to do it. Leo's turning into Smith, and we get another piece of heart here, so that's one of the items out of pod. We don't know if we need to go to the basement yet. We're gonna hope we don't.
Yep. Alright, so, yeah, we're gonna hope that Moldorm, for once, is actually going to be our pal, and not, the jerk that he has known to be, like, 99.9% of the time.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Well, with this tempered sword, he's not gonna last very long. But the item that he's got is either gonna be a small key where we have to decide whether or not we're gonna go down to the basement and get, or it's gonna just be an item and we get very happy. All right, so survey says it's the small key because Moldorm's always a jerk.
So, specifically for this tournament so far, Hera Basement has been quite the bane of runner's existence. In the very first qualifier, the big key was in the basement, but then the big chest had the flute, which was required. And if you got the flute out of that chest, you were in go mode at like 30 minutes. Yeah.
I imagine the qualifying scores on that one were fun.
Yeah, uh-huh. But it
All
looks like
right.
though Kyong is willing to skip it for the time being. You can check out Spike Cape because we do have this in Logic now with the blue cane that we picked up. Oh, hello! Leo, checking out that shovel spot. Ends up getting the cape, so she actually now has access to Bleed Mail if she so chooses.
And is following.
Speaking of more fetch quests, and Kyung's bunny sprite that he just held up and found in Spike Cape, he ends up picking up the mushroom.
Yep. So we've now got a mushroom over in Spike Cave. I guess we're gonna have to go check that out in just a minute here. Leo's gonna go over to Pod and get her mirror out of this now. I kind of wonder, like, man, you kind of know what's gonna happen here. Like, Leo's gonna go ahead and clear out Pendant Pod because that's just the decision that you want to make, right? But at the same time, we don't have a fire source.
Yeah, that's right. There's actually some more discussion about this too. So not only can we don't have a fire source or a light source in Aga Tower, which both of yours, especially Kyong, who's right here with the mirror. This would really be nice if he can do it. We also couldn't give her a basement either because we don't have a fire source. Man, where is this lamp hiding? Right? We've gone through so many dark rooms at this point, including like pod dark maze and like pod basement.
What is left, really, actually, now I'm thinking about it? Well, that mirror did open up Pendant Desert Palace. It opened up, well, what Kyung's about to check right now over here at Graveyard Ledge. So there's a few options left, but man, none of them are fun.
Yeah, that's right. So can we actually get into Ice Palace at this point?
No, we don't have bombos, so
no, that's right. We don't have a fire source, so we can also not get into Ice Palace. Yeah, man.
Swamp Palace is an option, though. That is being mentioned there in chat. There, Swamp Palace is an option, and having a fire rod or a lamp on left side swamp just seems like the type of thing that this game loves to do to you.
Yeah, it's always a great site for runners who are trying to do casual boots. When they get to the Dark World, they look at their equipment, they look at the Pendant Dungeons, and be like, okay, I can clear all Pendant Dungeons and nothing and no crystals. Great.
And is this the moment where I kind of casually mentioned that? Well, I guess I was about to say something silly about there's a chance of a ped seed here, but I mean, not without a fire source to put desert and what's its face into logic. Pod, that one.
Yeah, pod.
Yeah. And it's just at this point, it's just all bad options. Right now, you're just going to kind of sit here and hope that the bad option you choose is the right bad option.
Yeah, it's the least bad option in this case, or at least it's the one that contains the item or items that you need. Oh, just that nice little stair dash there. Using the Cadence of Mario on Leo's side.
I love that little trick. The timing on it can be a little wonky because it depends on how fast that red beetle can kind of come and mess you up. But like, oh yeah, just motoring up the stairs right up through the blocks there. Feels really good.
Yeah, speaking of feeling really good, Kyong, you can see, is full of emotion when he ends up picking up another heart piece from the cat dish. I'm sure that's exactly what he was looking for.
At some point we probably should mention there that we know Kyong and we are allowed to tease him a little bit about this.
Yeah, I actually thought you were gonna say, maybe we should, consider, giving these runners a follow because that's such a great show too.
Yes, yeah, do give the runners a follow. Of course, they are working through this incredibly fun seed.
Oh yeah, fun. And it's like one of those scavenger hunts that you really don't know when it's going to end.
Yeah. No, that is true. We are sitting here trying to figure out exactly what's going on with this seed here because at the moment we're still missing. What is it? 4 items that we need.
Yeah, so not only, right, you know, we're still hunting for some sort of like light source, right, fire source or something. We're still missing that ice rod, by the way, which I'm sure has given many a runner, I guess, a run for their money. We know where ether is, which is good, but we also don't know where bundles is either. You know, medallion hunts are probably, you know, arguably on the same level as ice rod hunts, and you know, these items that we're looking for, I mean, can really be in many places.
Oh, we've got a play happening over on Leo's side
Oh,
there.
are we going back to beat Helmasaur?
We are going to go do some dark Helmasaur. I mean, we're doing dark turtles back here. Now, this is a play. It's green pendant. Like I said earlier, we were not actually checking. I did not catch how many items we had in there, but this is something. This is a thing there. If you're that green pendant has something, or if it's Helmasaur having something, I mean, that is a way back in this, because turns out Checkerboard Cave also not the answer.
Yeah, and as you said earlier, right? You know, if Leo thinks that she, you know, most likely cannot win out an all-out execution battle against Kyong, you know, another way to increase variation between her and in this case Kyong, is trying to potentially do something that she doesn't think Kyong will necessarily do, right? You know, all confidence, you know, to her, and certainly good luck, because you know this is actually a very difficult dark room, but she feels comfortable with it, right? This is going to be pretty good if this pays out.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I would wager to say this is probably one of the more with her current equipment. I mean, okay, she does have the best thing for her is that she does have. Oh wow! Oh my
Wow!
God! Wow!
Wow, that is a really nice dark turtle so far. I thought she actually
Oh,
got
did she
6. Did she
miss one?
lose in one? Yeah, it looked like she got 6. Oh, but look, Kill found the lamp and K45. So I guess logical double dip of, you know, something, pod, dark rooms, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out real fast here, because yeah, now Kyung with a fire source here. Not exactly the fire source he probably would have preferred, but I mean, whatever. Beggars can't be choosers at this point. Does open up some things. Most notably, it does open up pedestal. Now that we're mentioning it, now that we're
It
talking
looks
about
like,
that.
though, he is going straight to Aga. He found his light source. He knows Agahnim is 100% required. And we've
Right.
got Tempered Sword, we've got Boots, we've got 9 hearts at this point. I don't think Kelvin's worried at all.
No. This will be a thing. Okay, so big moment over on Leo's side here. Helmasaur is exploding, and you're gonna get a compass. So there was not an item on Helmasaur, but we do have the green pendant, and we are right next to Sasharala.
Yeah, good thing we picked up that mirror
Yeah.
in pod. We literally can just mirror over, run over, and then turn it in.
Alright, so if this is something like, I don't know, say like Ice Rod or something, this seed gets very interesting very quickly for Leo's side. Now, no, unfortunately, Kyong has just blitzing through everything else, though, so, but this is an opening, and the answer is, it's
oh
the
my
Ice
gosh, it's the Ice Rod! Jeez. Wow. Wow. I'm speechless.
I was just talking out of my butt there, but apparently I knew.
Talking out of a cloud. That is okay. So Kyong at some point has to go back and go be Helmasaur and claim that ice rod from the green pendant. Now, okay, so at least you know, good news for Kyong is that. You know, while he's, I'm sure, very capable of doing Dark Turtles, he doesn't have to, because as we can see on his screen, he picked up the lamp. So his path through is going to be slightly easier.
Yeah, no, I mean, when he eventually goes back there, that's the thing. When he eventually goes back there for that single item on the green pendant, because he's cleared all of the items out of pod now. I don't see how that's not his absolute last location in the game.
Yeah, it's quite the trek in order to get back there. Yeah, I mean, so right now, you know, thinking about the items that Kyong kind of has somewhat isolated, right? He does have an item now left in her basement that he couldn't actually end up getting to earlier. He could potentially combine that with like an ether tablet check if he eventually finds the book, which, you know, I don't know where it is right now. But then, yeah, his other one is going to be, in this case, Pendant Helma, and
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly. Yeah, so that's technically a double dip, logically required double dip of pod because the mirror being bow locked there, you had to get the mirror to go get the lamp to go beat Helmasaur because the game is stupid and it hates you, and that's why you should learn your dark rooms.
I mean, I guess like in Runner's defense, like Dark Turtles is quite difficult.
Oh no, I mean,
you know.
I was about to say like when Leo was in there doing Dark Turtles, it was just like at least she has Tempered Sword. It's not the worst possible equipment, but it's almost like she didn't have a medallion there because if you have a medallion, Dark Turtles goes from like if you have like Ether Medallion, Dark Turtles is really not that bad.
If only we could get the Ether Medallion.
Okay, I'm just gonna get it here pretty quick.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But he's also gonna have a lamp too.
Yeah, he can see where he's going.
Oh my gosh,
all right.
Days, how many blue balls have we gone through? He's still fighting Agahnim right now.
Well,
wow.
I mean, this is why I say we should just, at some point, if you just get into Aga's room, you should just be able to like hit him once with an energy shot, and then it's over. Here, let's get some quality of life adjustments in this game here, because these fights are dull.
Wow.
Oh man, this well, see, here's the thing. It's not like that's a time loss. All right, for Kyong.
But that is certainly true. It's more you just have to sit through all this stuff. But it's
Kyong, because when Lao comes up there, she's gonna get the exact same fight. I mean, the only thing they could do is it could get worse if for some reason she just falls asleep for a second and doesn't get one of the energy balls back. But not particularly an option here. Now, where is Kyong going at the moment?
I guess he's
has not checked. He
Bumper
never
Cave?
checked Bumper Cave. That's right. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna take a dash over here. Probably take a look at that blue mail on the thing and then decide, yeah, I ain't getting that.
Yeah, I would be very surprised at this point if Kyong ends up picking it up. Yep.
Oh, right. Also, yeah, the Ether Medallion. That's the other thing we want over here, of course.
Oh, right. That's actually the reason why we decided to go beat Agahnim, right? Was we kind of realized that we needed this medallion. But of course, finding Ether, his next stop, very well could beat the Mire because we can actually get in now. With the bow, with Tempered Sword, fights can be a lot more comfortable.
Oh, Tempered Sword, lamp. So
lamp,
not having to worry about that Mire Dark Room is going to be a benefit for sure.
And he also has a fire source for that lamp, so he doesn't have to worry about something being in the firelock side as well. So this is going to be a full clear for Cal.
Yeah, definitely. Go through, clear out the whole thing. With 2 items in here, that's when we start kind of wondering, okay, exactly, what do we, what is the progression here? Because that ice rod is not, as good as it is not really progression.
Yes. It's very super late, like second to last step progression most likely. Right.
Yeah, for Kyong, he's gonna get the 2 items here, and this will open up Pyramid Fairy, which is another list of things that we're gonna have to find. As almost gets the 1 cycle here in Mire 2 with the bow. It's just hard to do.
If only we had a fire rod that all the NMG runners are used to.
Right, yeah. If we had a fire rod, I imagine Kyong hits that thing the first time, no problem. As Leo goes in, takes Moldorm down. Gonna be, what is that, crystal number 3 for her. So we're tied up on crystals. Right. And more importantly, yeah, no big key yet. More importantly, that ice rod.
Oh man. Yeah, so like right, so as you said, right, ice rod doesn't really necessarily open anything up, but it can actually do a lot of preventative things for Leo, for example, because when she doesn't have to worry anymore about going into Turtle Rock without that ice rod. Kyong, depending on what stuff he has left to do, why can't the ice rod just be in Turtle Rock? I mean, we know today it's not. It's in a much worse place in this case. But from Kyong's perspective, who knows?
if you're Kyong, and I mean honestly, if you're rooting for Kyong right now, like that ice rod location is such it's a killer. Honestly, you don't usually say this. Now Kyong is good enough that he can make up the deficit, obviously, but like that's a hard one to come back from, because yeah, you're gonna go into Turtle Rock if you have the ability. Now, if you're rooting for Kyong, you're gonna want something like Bombos being locked behind. No, you can't even lock Bombos behind it. Yeah, that's really bad, actually. I can't. I'm trying to think of a way, like maybe Bombos locks Fire Rod, but then, I
Yeah,
mean, it's his dungeons left, all are, at some point the Fire Rod's going to show up. You know, Bombos on Ped would be great for Kyung. Yeah, that, but that would be great for thing, because Bombos is our TR medallion, TR entry right now. We do know that. But,
yeah, so maybe, oh damn, I don't know when Kyong needs a small key first. He momentarily just misplaced it. But yeah, like, I guess, like, you know, the ideal case is, let's say Kyong finds Bombos, and then he goes into Turtle Rock, but then he's locked out because there's a Fire Rod, right? And he gets, like, a, you know, item or a big key in the first chest. I don't know what scenario that's gonna come through, though, for him, like, to go all the way up there, and only have Bombos, right? And not have Fire Rod.
yeah, it's that's probably the best case scenario there, because I was trying to think like of a way, but it's yeah, that's the worst possible placement. It's the worst possible placement, and Lau getting just nailing the mirror check here. Hasn't gone up to the other one here, but to Graveyard Ledge, but gets her lamp out of 45, and I think there's a good chance we're just gonna go do Aga. Yep, that is where we are headed. Yep, that is where we are headed on her side.
I think that's a very similar path to, or decision that Cal ended up taking once he found the lamp. Basically just went straight up to that. So right, speaking of no Fire Rod, Kyong is in my basement, even though we can see with the lamp, we don't have the Fire Rod in order to do any kind of spooky action, so unfortunately can't save that, like, extra 10 seconds or whatever. We're gonna have to do this the developer intended way. Oh, I mean, I can't believe we have to do things like that.
Boo, I say.
That's right. This is rando, man.
Come on now. We're supposed to have fun when we're playing this game. But anyway, so Kyung going into Vitreous here. Don't expect Vitreous to hang around for too long.
Very NMG-esque Kyong fight. Oh man, textbook. 3 sword spins, some arrows to clean up the rest, and 8 more arrows to kill the big eyeballs. Really a nice and clean Vitreous fight. Kyong has a pretty good NMG time too, by the way. If you can't figure that out already.
Yeah, I'm actually curious what it is, but yeah, did we get both items out of Misery Mire? Did we get any item? I don't believe we saw Kyung go to the.
Anything. If we got one, that would be great. I don't know.
Oh man, I hope somebody was counting there, because Kyung didn't. I don't think Kyung went to the cutscene chest there, so there's a few places left over.
He didn't go to cutscene chest. I don't think he went to big chest even. Did he?
So
yeah. Well, we're just gonna hope that nothing is there.
We're dashing right now to go turn in this big bomb here, open up the Pyramid Ferry, and find out exactly if that's where the progression is, or if we're going to be going in full clearing swamp next, or exactly what it is that we need to do. As Kyung just casually drops the bomb.
Yeah, looks like, yep, he's successful. So once when you beat Aga, the bomb dupe trick, in this case, is significantly easier, because it's like all you gotta do is just pick up the bomb, set it, and then, just walk right over to the bomb.
Well, that is all we need there. So we're gonna take a quick look here. What's in this pyramid? We're gonna blast it open in just a second here, and I mean, I almost kind of imagine it's Fire Rod, but let's find out. It is
money.
Nothing.
Not here. Okay. All right. So, where to next, Kyong?
I am quite confused at the moment. I'm gonna say maybe.
Are we going to swamp?
Looks like it probably. Well, gonna take just a minute here. Got to go through the portal as Lao is enduring her ridiculous Aga fight on this side.
Yeah, and I think it was a consensus that we are getting 5 blue balls. It feels like a lot more, but then again, maybe 5 blue balls is just that long, and we don't get to see it too often. There's probably a good reason for that.
So I mean, kind of thinking through this right now. Like for Kyong, it's probably a good thing that this fire rod or bombos medallion is as buried as it is, because he's running out of he's going to be running out of other places for the ice rod to be. Because once he gets to the point where he turns this into an ice rod hunt, he'll be at a situation where it's not as I guess less options. I mean, none of them will be good, but there'll be less of the bad options.
I mean, and I guess, like, as long as you eventually work through all of the bad options, you'll eventually find what you're looking for. Yeah, as you said, it's just gonna be a question of when he ends up going to Pendant Helma and picking up his ice rod.
That's the thing here. I mean, we could end up with a couple of the things here. I think Super Nin Taylor in chat kind of points out the trick of this seed in the best way here. We've got can Kyong full clear the game fast enough before Laoria gets back to he's in go mode, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of where we are. It feels like.
I mean, Kyong is like crazily good at this game. You see actually his execution and how efficiently, fast he basically is at full clearing everything, basically. So you can't count Kyong out this game at all. Especially when we're still missing, even from both runners' sides, actually quite a few number of items. We're missing bombas, for Turtle Rocket Troop, missing Fire Rod. We might need a book depending on where the rest of the items are.
So I'm kind of going back through my head here real fast, just trying to remember what we got out of Meyer. I want to say that there's a pretty good chance that Kyong got both items, because we did get I know we got the Quake medallion out of Meyer, which was completely useless. And I want to say I think I remember seeing a heart container as well. Hey, silver arrows! That's the lovely icon that we used to see.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess they'll be useful for Ganon. We already did go through Vitreous. That's probably like the biggest source in this case of silver arrows. Use this second to, in this case, whatever is a GT.
And yeah, so I guess it kind of seems like Kyong might have to come back in here, because hasn't found anything yet. Just got the big key, which opens up the big chest there sitting in the back. We didn't go left side first, so we're trying to figure out.
We haven't seen any dungeon items, have we?
No, I don't know, but
did you see that?
Dear God!
Oh, Kyong was so close, right? He got the empty cycle, but that was really beautiful to kill.
I mean, that's
so close, but yeah.
Very fast there.
Alright. Yep. Okay, so that's our first pendant on the Kyong side. Picking up the map. So right, you said that we found the map, found the big key, so there's only the compass and then 2 items left then?
Yes, I would say that sounds right to me. I'm not 100% sure on that. I could very easily be wrong.
Alright, well, we're gonna be able to count with Kyong. That could be a good show. counting with Kyong.
Yeah. The new children's show that's rocking the world.
We're gonna be able to find out exactly how many items are left. Now, it is technically possible, for him to just open up the big chest and then make a decision. If that ends up is not an item, it's like the compass, or it is an item. I certainly have seen runners do that. Because we're gonna see the counts.
To be completely honest, I think Kyong's past the point where he can skip anything. Because I think at this point, if you're skipping chests, you've run out of options of other places to go for 'em.
Actually, yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, because I guess like once you start skipping things in swamp, like what else do we have left, right? You said we can't get into Ice Palace, we can't get into Turtle Rock. Maybe that's his cue in order to go back to Pendant Helm. I don't know.
Well, I mean that's the thing. Like pretty soon here, Pendant Helm is the only thing that he might have left. I mean, that's kind of the trick here. Okay, now I'm gonna take a close look over at Lao's scream here, at Leo's scream, because I want to double check. I want to believe that this item up here was a heart piece.
This was compass.
Oh, this was compass.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, then I might be wrong. There might still be an item here in Mire.
Is cutscene chest?
We have not been to cutscene chests, so I do not know. Okay, yeah, no, that's our second item.
Alright, yeah, we got confirmation that we don't have to do cutscene chests on in Mire because we found Quake Medallion, which was, as you said, completely useless. Unless we want to take some revenge on Dead Rocks. And we got 20 rupees out of this.
Yeah, Quake Medallion's useful for the Pen Gators and Ice Palace too, if you've got nothing else there as well. Grab a piece of heart, and that's it out of left side, so Swamp is a complete zero outside of those silver arrows.
Wow. Yeah, and of course, Kyong picking the left side, correct side first, because we know that if you went right first, we would have picked up the compass.
And I think we're going to go back into Desert. We're going to go beat Lanmo right now, because, I mean, looking over everything, Lanmo's got to have an item.
Now, do you think this would potentially motivate Kyong to go to Pendant Helma and just, beat the dungeon and then pull Pen? Blind? Because, we don't have the book yet.
Well, that's the other option right now, right? If this turns out, because like it did kind of look like Lao got a huge advantage with getting that ice rod off the green pendant, but now we're at the point where it might not be, depending on what Lanmo has. If Lanmo has nothing, then Kyong just basically is in a huge lead at this point, because he'll have to go back and clear Helmasaur, because then whatever it is, we know is on Ped. So this next fight is going to be just a bit consequential.
Yeah, and of course, we end up finding Bombos here. That's going to open up Ice Palace for Kyong, right? And then he's going to be able to go there. Whereas maybe for Leo, maybe it's going to be a go mode Ice Palace, depending on what happens. Alright, okay, moment of truth. What do we got? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
we have Bombos. Alright, Kyong is thinking. Please have mercy.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing. I'm kind of sitting here going with Leo right now. I don't think she does Lanmo anytime soon. I mean, why would you? Like, you're gonna have a choice between doing the one item on Lanmo or the 6 items in Swamp Palace. You're gonna go to Swamp Palace, and you've just opened Pyramid Fairy as well. So, I mean, it's not over for Kyong by any way, shape, or form. By any means. If anything, he's starting to get to that point here where he's been clearing these dungeons so quickly that the time that Leo has really gained is shrinking.
She can certainly save some time in Swamp if she chooses to skip left side, because we did see Kyong go back for 2 items, but they were very much useless and not helpful.
But that's the thing, I don't see her skipping left side, just because, like, we know that when she gets to that decision, it's not like she's going to have any better options there. It's going to be left side Swamp or going to...
Oh yeah, that's true. And because right, and it's based on what we've seen on Kyong's side, right? If the Fire Rod had shown up, Turtle Rock would have been a great, Turtle Rock Skull Woods would have been completely, really nice decision, right, for Leo. But it hasn't shown up yet, and what better place to find the Fire Rod, of course, is going to be in Ice Palace. palace, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, what a shock, right? Fire locks fire in this game. This is that. There's no
I thought
memes,
this was
no
only.
sayings in
I
that
thought
at
this was only
all.
in cross keys, Dave. That's all I've only ever heard.
Only in cross keys? Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it does seem that way in cross keys a lot there. But we'll find out if we'll see what exactly Kyung pulls out of this in just a second. As we found a piece of heart there for, I want to say, our first item. And speak of the devil, there's your fire rod. That's going to send Kyung all the way through Skullwoods, all the way through Turtle Rock without being in go mode. So now the question really becomes, God, she's going directly to Lanmo here. This is really bad for Kyung, actually.
Yeah, this is actually quite the play because if she's gonna beat Lamo, and she's gonna pick up her bombos, and then she's gonna go into Ice Palace, and then that will be her go mode at this point.
Yeah, this is a call right here. I like this. I like this play, and I do. I mean, you kind of got to imagine this might be, hey, I can just go one item here and grab this really fast. If I'm right, then I'm golden. But we're good. And man, I'm stunned that she's making this play, because I mean, Swamp is just the denser play. I feel like runners would make that play more times, and you can hookshot to that.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you could hookshot to the side of the door. That's interesting.
That's cool. I've learned quite a few things today just from watching. This.
You know, every single time I watch a random stream, we learn something new, which is really surprising, given how long this game has been around.
True. So. We're working our way through this Lanmo fight here. Ice Rod on Lanmo is not the easiest, but Kyung on the other side here, we've gone ahead and taken care of breaking open the puffs and killing all of them very, very easily here. So with that Fire Rod, Kyung is now on pace for a very, very full clear of this game.
Right, so he's gonna go into Skullwoods, most likely. Still not up the mountain yet, and we know that there's gonna be one item back there. I guess the question is going to be what he's gonna do after Skullwoods.
So, like, yeah, I'm like working through this right now. Like his plays right now. This is even worse for Kyung now that I think about it, because we had to kill Aga today. He can't even save a portal on Turtle Rock.
That is, you also bring up a really good point. That's just one of those things where I think you don't probably realize until either someone tells you and you remember, or you find out the hard way. Yeah,
and so that's oh man, I'm at this point, I'm honestly, I'm. If you had asked me who probably was favored in this race, I probably would have gone something like Kyung by quite a bit here, just because Kyung he's fantastic about this game, fantastic at this game. It really is. I mean, this is not me denigrating Lao at anything. There's Kyung is Kyung. That's a very good way of putting it.
Yeah.
GFE says, right? And but
I mean, sometimes these things happen. And so the good news for both these runners is that this is a double elimination bracket, so you are still granted one loss in your path, either to top 32 or in this case all the way to the finals. So just Ice Rod on Pendant Helma, which is just a terrible place to begin with, especially we had a double dip pod for the lamp, right, in order to get back there, or any type of fire source for that matter. No one's going to be basically down now after this race.
Right. No, I mean this is legitimately a full thing of, hey, I got randoed. If you're on Kyung's side, on Lao's side, I mean she
just picked up go mode, right?
She is in go mode right now, and to be honest, she had a little bit of trouble there at the very beginning of the game. I think there were some nerves, But she has recovered and it has been playing fantastically since then.
Oh yeah.
Decisions were on point here.
Yeah, because didn't she even take a couple deaths early on, right, on the overworld, which certainly cannot be good for your morale.
I mean, this is a good question. What is she doing right now? Did she not hit the switch in here? Ah, she didn't hit the switch, so she had to come down and find the big key. Got it. Okay, I was about to say, because that fire rod did put her into go mode. But either way, she is now making her way to the door. And Kyong is unfortunately doing the play that makes the most sense and heading directly to Turtle Rock. Now, unfortunately, we know exactly where the ice rod is, and this is it's not here.
Yeah, this is and as you said, Days, even though this is one of Kyong's basically, almost last, dungeon locations, because we had to kill Aga today, we cannot save that portal. So, unfortunately, Kyong's probably going to go through the entire dungeon, and then he's going to have to do it twice.
Yeah. And so I'm trying to think, like, for Kyong after this, Hera basement. I think that would be that's your first play. And then I don't even know from there. Wow, that was a very good kill over on Leo's side there. She just takes down Cold Stare very quickly. Puffs barely get away, and that's crystal number 5. So we're gonna be heading to Skull Woods in just a moment, and there we go.
Yeah, and also might end up deciding, I guess we can see like what they also end up finding in Turtle Rock, at least on Kyong's side. So, looking at our tracker, there is a conspicuous green reading implement that we have not quite found yet. So hopefully, we know there's gonna be nothing, behind the book, but Kyong doesn't know that.
I mean, if you want to just, have to go ahead and continue with all of the possible locations in the game, you can go ahead. We could find the book if you really wanted to, but I mean, I don't think anyone's interested. I think if Kyong finds it, that might be the first time that you'll see him actually like visibly roll his eyes or something. But so yeah, we're gonna get to see exactly what the layout here is of Turtle Rock. So we've already seen the big key there in Compass Chest. Moving on to these roller rooms here, finding one small key and 50 rupees. So it's not gonna be a total god TR today, which is kind of good. But yeah, we are moving on.
Yeah, of course. Leo here is, well, I mean, it's going to be a good thing that, well, it'll be nice for her to see that Mothula has the last item, but, as we said, Fire Rod was her go mode. Just here in the back of the swamp, she's got Temper Sword. As long as that Gift doesn't get in the way of that nice, clean Fire Rod shot, she's probably have a pretty easy time here with Mothula. So long as she gets rid of these sword beams, hopefully, because sword beams unfortunately sometimes do override the Temper Sword damage. So this is not something that you would much rather take Temper Sword damage than like Fighter Sword damage against Mothula.
True. I mean, but at the same time, if you do get one of these jerk moths there, it can be actually sometimes advantageous to take your sword beams and make him get off the top there, so you can actually get up in his face, because you're eventually going to take damage to one of these spikes typically.
Yes. That's right.
Either way, so there's our second item there, and that is going to be a really quick fight over there, and Leo is gonna make her way up to Turtle Rock and join Kyong up here. Biggest difference though is she got that ice rod by doing Dark Turtles for a green pendant pod, which just a call.
Yeah, and it was specifically only for the green pendant, right? We saw Hellasword drop a compass, so it wasn't even for that like last potential item in this case. Now, I guess a The only thing I thought of, sorry, was Days with silver lining for Kyong, is that because Kyong went into Swamp, he ended up picking out the silver arrows, which Leo will not, in this case, have for the rest of the game.
Yeah, the moment I heard you say silver lining, I knew what you were about to talk about. There. But yeah, no, I mean that is the one thing. I mean, it's there's gonna be some time I mean, Kyung, I won't say Kyung is out of it by any means, because I mean, I think at some point, like, Leo is gonna start thinking to herself, okay, I don't know if she would. I have to imagine she thinks that she's not in a bad situation just because
for
of the,
sure.
yeah, just because of the of where she picked up that ice rod. I mean, she has to know that that was a play that not many people would make. Now it worked out massively for her.
Oh yeah. And actually, you know, and I think actually she never ended up doing like purple chest, right? You know, she ended up skipping out on some of the stuff that Kyung, I guess, had taken like his time in order to be more thorough in the area. And perhaps, right, her decision to clear out Lamos first versus over Pendant Swamp, maybe that was also another, I'm facing Kyung, where can I save some time type of thing.
But I mean, here's the thing, and I don't care how good that ice rod location was for you. In the back of your mind, you know who's chasing you, and
yes,
the nerves going up the gauntlet. He is quite quick, and so you know, even though you probably are in a great situation there, there's going to be a voice in the back of your head telling you, he's probably in the room behind me. He's probably right behind me, and it's going to be interesting to see how Leo does with that when she's climbing VT, as Kyung is getting the bad news that unfortunately no, it's not here. I mean, we're gonna.
That is unfortunate.
Does he think he has ice rod, or does he think he has ice rod?
Well, not anymore.
All right. And
I think that might have been like a very slight like smirk that we might have seen on his face as he went over to unlock the door and then had to realize he can't and had to come back out.
Yeah, so he is, I think right now we're gonna see the I imagine we're gonna go see what's in Hera basement first, but I'm working through it in my head, like what else does Kyung have? And I want to say Helma might be.
Yeah, I think you're right in this case. Just because we didn't find a book in Turtle Rock, so we can't, I guess, open up like Bongo's tablet or Ether tablet, right? He is like cleared out, I think, everything else though.
Yeah.
We cleared out all the dungeons, and I think the one thing left is just on Green Pendant Helma at this point.
So I think at this point, yeah, if you're rooting for, I mean, okay, Leo's got the advantage totally, but I think for her, on her sake, you want a early GTB key. I would say, I would say that in that case that gives Kyung the least amount of time to catch up, because I think room to room his execution will make up time.
Correct.
So
yes.
yeah, if you've got something, if you've got a chance right now, I mean, if you're rooting for Leo, you're hoping for like, yeah, just put it in Hope Room or something. You put it someplace nice and easy. This is yeah, we're gonna see. Okay, so hopefully this isn't book for Kyung. That's the one thing you could kind of hope for, that this isn't book. But we're gonna take a look. All right, just a blue ruby
that's
there.
Good. Yes, that is 100% good for Kyung. All right, so this is most likely going to be a flute over to 5. Because yeah, I really don't think we have much else. Yep, Kyung I think also recognizes this. We're going back into pod. This cannot be a good feeling, because I think this is, as you said, Days, once you go through a pendant pod, got all the items, you decide to leave the first time, you are not coming back here until you absolutely have to. And
right.
In this case, Kyung has literally no other choice.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not fast either. I mean, he's going to make it look pretty fast, but it's not fast. So we're gonna make our way through here. I'm trying to think right now. I think if I'm going through what Leo has in her items right now, I think she still has that fairy. Gets her key that she needs and is gonna continue looking for something. Takes a death there. I don't know what she was looking for. So that's gonna be her fairy.
At least right, but she does have the bug net. So you know, in worst case, right? You know, she goes through upper GT and she goes to the safety room and she stops by and gets something.
Okay.
She does have a powder too. So.
Right. I mean, not terrible thing by any means, but unfortunately, just realized she's now out of magic.
Are we gonna fake powder? Fake powder? We're gonna real powder if she doesn't die.
If she doesn't die. Oh man, that got hairy really quickly there. All right.
Remember when we said this game, like, these runners make things look really easy, and then, like, you get off on, like, the slightest pixel, and then suddenly everything just becomes so awful so quickly? That was a good example.
Oh, the nerves are real here on this, and especially in this sort of a tournament here, where, you know, you're gonna have, like, it's double elimination, luckily, right? But at the same time, like, there's gonna be, you know, we're playing for like some real prizes for once. Like a lot of times you're just playing for pride. This time you're actually playing for prizes. As Kyong having a little issue in his turtle room real fast.
Yeah, as you said, for real prizes, right? So I think the prize pool is something right shy of $5,000. It's like $4,900 or something like that. And yeah,
significant coin, yeah.
Yeah, So first place I think gets half the pot, and they kind of like trickles down.
Oh my god.
You know, okay, that at least it was not a laser bridge. Thank you, game, at least for putting it there on a very, you know, small constellation, small, like tiny, like size, like 4 Arial font size constellation.
And yep, there we go. So okay, we're into GT. So if you want, I guess we could, if we've got
I don't think the bot's gonna work.
I was gonna say if we have a mod in chat, I guess it's a little late now. Probably should have run that about like 20 minutes ago. But yeah, go ahead, throw some numbers in chat there if you want for where you think the GT big heat is gonna be. We're gonna have Kyong very quickly here, getting himself into go mode here with this ice rod on Sasharala.
Yeah, and of course for Kyong, he's probably thinking like it's gonna be this turn in or it's gonna be Coastal, and at least we don't have to go full pet.
Yeah, like
man.
It's a full problem now. So we've got Leo in GT, and
oh, interesting. Okay. I guess I'm kind of curious to see what this path is now. You know, so because typically, you know, what happens is a common route is runners go right to Hope Room, and there's a key. They continue on the compass, but even though Leo ended up picking out a key, she decides to mirror out into left side regardless.
Yeah, that's an interesting call there. So that's a way for Kyong to make up a little bit of time once he gets up here, because I mean, he is charging. He is getting his way. Oh, but you know, if you're gonna throw the big key right there, it does not matter. Does not matter right there. So.
Oh, man.
All right. So yeah, that would be number
4, right?
4? 3? Wasn't that the first chest he opened up or the second chest?
Oh, right, but we got the torch item too, which was a small key.
But yeah, but was it number 1 or number 2 in the stealth voice room?
Oh, I think it was the first one.
Okay, then that would be 3 or 4. You're right. 4. You're right.
Yeah,
that's 4. Yeah. Because of the hope room. Anyway, so yeah, no, that's fantastic for Lao, because now she is into a GT climb right now, and you kind of wonder if at some point she's got that race time, if she's checked that race time room right now, because at some point you get curious, you start going, okay, am I dead? Is this all for nothing? And then, you know, especially when you're kind of maybe the underdog, you start checking and think, well, I'm not dead yet. And then you check it again as you clear another couple of rooms. You go, well, I'm still not dead.
Yeah.
And the nerves start to build on this. So I'm very curious how this GT climb has gone, because remember, she lost her fairy there on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, and she's already quick swapped over to bombs, right? So she is very interested in picking up another potential safety here.
Yeah, I dig this. I dig this play completely. Because let's just go ahead, grab a fairy. You're gonna be safe there. You got full magic. All right, so that's gonna make it a little bit easier. The Ganon fight is still going to be silverless, and I don't believe she has any sort of potion as she takes a giant deep breath right before she moves into this gauntlet. This is some excitement time right here because Kyong is almost all ready to try next.
Yeah, I mean, Kyong is, he is going. Honestly, he's going at Kyong speed. Getting through Turtle Rock as fast as sprightly possible, and but it's still like just a matter of fact that Kyong is still basically one full Turtle Rock behind Leo at this point. So long as she just keeps her cool in this case to go through GT, this is definitely her game to lose.
All right. Through these rooms,
yeah.
I mean,
you're saying that nerves are showing. The fact that, oh my gosh, the fact that they also they spotted Green Mail up on Bunker Ledge. I don't know if there was a good opportunity for Leo to go pick it up, but Green Mail honestly on a GT climb is really uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting here in just a second to see exactly what... Okay, Lao, you can't use too much magic. I don't think she has any potions here. As, Trinex's not behaving over on Kyung's side here, so he's going to have to do a little bit of dodging here. He's going to take it down there, but that's going to be like a full 2 cycle here. And Lao, she's most of the way through the gauntlet. I mean, she still has, I'd say, a good, even if you're as fast as Kyung, getting up through the gauntlet there, that is, that's a good, to catch up to where she is probably a good 3 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm.
So, like, she's got the lead, but I mean, this is nerve-wracking. I mean, I've been in this situation where, you're as the underdog in a race, and just climbing GT is terrifying.
Yeah, especially when, as we said, if you think you might be the underdog, and especially against something like Kyong, yeah, you might not be on your 100%, A+ game, going through GT Gauntlet and the tower.
Alright, taking a couple of seconds here to check for silvers.
Yeah, convenient health refill.
Alright, so we've got a tower climb between the 2 runners, basically. Now, Kyung, it's gonna really determine here in 2 seconds. If he goes left, he makes up, not much time, but, a little bit of time. And at this point, a little bit of time is pretty much everything you need. Swing up.
I mean, did you say something about nerves potentially showing?
Oh, there? God, yeah. Okay, so Kyung is going right here, so he might actually lose time now because he's got that key in Hope Room. A lot of runners will push that to the right. We get an angry Moldorm. It doesn't matter. It's going down. Kyung is going to go right, so he's going to lose a little bit more time.
Alright, so looks like we're not going to be at full health when we go into Ganon. Assuming she doesn't lose any more health on Aga 2. She's going to be, I guess, like, she can take 1 hit from Ganon. Or, sorry, not Ganon, the Trident. Can't take any hits from Ganon. But at least, she does have a fairy. So it's not going to be the worst fight, of course.
And there was a call. That was a triple, and there was a call here in a second ago that it did look like she might have a blue potion as well, which if she does makes this Ganon fight a little bit easier here. She goes for some long range strats here on Aga 2. Not really cooperating here in the last stage.
Alright, at least the last one was the energy ball. That's the last one she needed. Oh man.
And it turns out that the intensity is crazy here, and it turns out that there's blue mail over on the right side of GT right now. So Kyung is even built a little bit more for wear here as he goes in, picks up his big key, and immediately, not immediately, but almost immediately.
I guess I was curious what Kyong maybe was like. Maybe he was probably like already over there. He was trying to quick slide over to that mirror. Maybe he could just, open something up, for fun. I mean, he could have gotten another like heart piece or something potentially for a refill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna miss the 1-on-1 here over on Lao's side, and deciding, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna cape this guy to death, which I might not even need to, because Ganon's just gonna sit pretty for her right up here in this top right corner. Get double spins as many as she wants. And yeah, we're gonna just put this cape on, go and hug that torch. And yeah, we're gonna quick swap to this lamp because we're into phase 3. We're gonna as long as we can pull off this phase 4 here. Kyong is still a good 3 to 4 minutes behind at this point. All right, here we go. Phase 4. It's got to make sure you get torch glitch here. Arrows in Swamp Palace. I never went to Swamp Palace. Leo says it gets torch glitch.
I mean, and especially for a situation. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, especially for situations like this, you know, unless you are like rock solid confident in your torch glitch with the fire rod, especially even on lower magic, the lamp is just one of those states that you just spam, right? And especially if you think the nerves are kind of getting the better of you, it's not necessarily bad news.
Oh yeah, you do not even take the chance of missing. You just take that down immediately there. As we're most of the way through phase 2, we're going to have to pop that potion pretty quick there. Missing a triple that time here, should be able to still get the double out of this.
The most important part for her is, at this point, is just to not fall off.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing here, because if she falls off, she still will be in the lead, but at that point, you fall off once, I don't care what anybody says, you fall off once, that's going to exponentially increase the chances of you falling off the second time, because you're going to tilt yourself to death.
Yeah.
This is an intense fight here, coming down. A couple more spins should do it. Maybe just one more here. That's going to do it there. Laoria takes this fight against Kyong. She's staring at the race time room. I think she might be saying some, like, please. Yeah,
it's just like a prayer at this point. Because the worst feeling is also to get sniped, and look at how happy she is.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Alright, so she is done there with a time of 1:44.18. Get your GGs into chat for Lao. That is...
I think even she can't believe how this happened.
Be a lover or not a lover.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, shoutouts to the new thing, to the new the SpeedGaming Live chat. Wow, that is yeah, that's some true happiness over there in Leo's side. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to her in just a minute. I see her in the setup room right now. Just gonna give her a second here. And bring her on in. And we are now joined by our winner today, representing Twilight Princess Zelda so very well there. Laoria, how are you doing?
GG's. So, are you happy, out of curiosity? We couldn't really tell from your facial expression.
I think I'm in shock still, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah, I'm thrilled, but, like, it's one of those things where, like, I was talking to Kyong afterwards. I'm like, I, like, respect you so much as a...
Oh no, what happened?
Lost her. Oh, she's
back. Okay.
Sorry.
One more time.
Yep, sorry. I think Discord just had a fit. No, I'm sorry. I was telling Kyong afterwards, like, I respect the mess out of you as a runner, and, like, I live by the sim that you made, like, and so, like, I came in tonight, like, fully expecting to, like, just hope to be in go mode when you finished.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there at the beginning, it looked like you had a few nerves there. Was that just like, oh god, I'm racing against Kyong sort of thing, or?
Early, like, whatever reason, whenever I first start a run, I'm just always a hot mess. I don't know what it is, but, like, I cannot open, like, a seed. I don't know why. Like, I just can't. and execute at the beginning, and then things get crazier, you know, the longer we go. Like at one point, my fiance, his computer is set up right next to me, and he was jamming to New World and like trying to show me things. I'm like, I can't right now. I'm playing a game like, in the middle of this race against this like super crazy like good runner. And so like I think he could tell I was like crazy nervous. So he started like just like saying like random things, and like I just started like losing it and laughing my rear end off. And I think that just that silliness is kind of what helped me like finally calm down until, you know, GT and further.
Well, and with that, that's going to put Kyong across the line there. He's going to be taking second place in this race there with a time of 1:47.38 there. Jeez, this is just an epic race to watch there, because
yeah.
I mean, there for a minute, it did look like Kyong really was like getting a lead on you, and then you made that play for the ice rod. What was your thought process there? Because I mean, that was you were going for a dark turtle green pendant helmet. Or what was your thought process there?
Okay, this is gonna sound really stupid. I'm gonna be honest. It's gonna sound stupid. So for like the people who know me, like they know like it's almost like a meme at this point. Like Pendant Pod's my thing. Like I love Pendant Pod. I have an emote that's dedicated to Pendant Pod. And so I have this like little mini rule that if Helmet is a green pendant, I am gonna do him. Like I'm gonna go and kill him no matter what. Having gotten the mirror in Pod kind of made that decision even easier, because it was like, okay, I don't want to ever come back to this area. I'll just take care of it now, and then I'll mirror, do Saha, and then flute to wherever I want to go. Pulled the you know, ice run. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like let's just keep going and hope that that's a thing, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I might have said something about you and Pendant Pod.
Yeah, all days is credit or fault, however you want to take it.
But yeah, so no, that was big, and we're now joined also in the booth here by Kyong there. GG's, bud.
GG's, Kyong.
GG's.
Sorry about the ice rod.
It's whatever.
You look like you kept your cool basically the entire time. I think we saw. I think at least I noticed a smirk out of you after you accidentally opened up, I guess, like the door to go to Trinex without the ice rod. I think that was the only other emotion I think that you showed the entire scene.
I was just listening to music the entire time. Overall, I don't really regret any of my decisions. I had like some little mishaps execution-wise here and there, but other than that,
I mean, your execution is always like on point. Certainly has definitely showcased a lot here.
I learned a little bit. I've always been trying to figure out, like, there's got to be a dash in that one like kind of bridge room when you're going through escape there, and I saw you dash to the left of the statue at one point. I go, oh, I'm stealing that. So yeah, I learned a lot just watching you today. But man, yeah, no, you've got a very, very full tracker. I mean, you cleared everything you pretty much could clear in this game today.
Yeah, it was like everything except one, I think, because you didn't have to pull the pedestal, right?
Yes,
in this case,
exactly.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I guess that'll be moving on to basically your guys' next match there. I guess I'll ask Leo there first. Do you know who you're going to be matching up in the next round against?
Not yet. I think that I know that it's between Vortex of Doom and Mr. Aaron Snurd, both of which are kind of buddies, like of like our kind of little 40 bonks community. And so I think they race on Saturday.
Yep, that's true. Saturday looks like on the schedule is 6:30 their race time, and then 29th July is 6:50 p.m. 9 a.m.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited. I've kind of just casually raced both of them quite a few times, so we'll see what what happens, in round 2. But yeah, Kyong, GG. Like this, I'm still like I said, I'm still like, I guess, shell shocked, if that makes sense.
I know how that feels as well. When playing with other people I know and care about and respect a lot.
You play very well, Kyong. You certainly never sell yourself short for this. It's very well done. Just sometimes one person ends up finding the items faster than the other person. That's sometimes how it goes.
It's whatever. Like I said, I don't really regret anything.
Yeah.
I already saw more than a couple of people going, "Oh God, Kyung's gonna be in losers." I'm dead.
Yeah,
so,
Leo, how dare you knock Kyong into losers bracket and make all these other people's lives miserable?
I'm sorry. It's not what I expected. I promise.
Well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, congratulations to you, definitely. But at the same time, yeah, you're going on, and this is going to be a ton of fun. I hope both of you guys, wish you nothing but the best of luck moving forward on this, because I mean, this was a ton of fun. Being on this side of it, there. I hope you guys had a good time as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch it back. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really like nervous to watch it, but I'm also like already like bouncing in my seat. Like I want to watch it now, but I'm supposed to go to bed like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, I guess with that, anything else that you guys want to add before we close her down for the night?
I mean, thanks to the whole crew for putting this on, and of course SpeedGaming for hosting. This is so cool. And GG again to Kyong. Good luck, dude. And I'm not gonna be surprised that like you just like destroy like losers bracket and then come back again in the finals, dude.
There's a lot of games. That's a lot of games.
It is a lot of games. You're not wrong.
But yeah, thank you guys for the restream and all that, as always.
It's always a pleasure to be able to showcase you guys.
I guess with that, then, guys, yeah, GG's to you both. If you have been enjoying this, don't go anywhere. We've got, there are nothing but more incredible matches like you just saw here coming up over the next couple of weeks here as we get SpeedGaming Live going on. We've also got the ALTTPR League matches going on the SpeedGaming networks. Make sure, go ahead, give the runners a follow. Give the SpeedGaming networks a follow as well, just to make sure that you don't miss a thing, because it's been a ton of fun. And if we can get more matches like this, I mean, this might be my favorite match I've ever called. This was great.
Oh man.
But yeah, so anyway, other than that, thanks to everyone there. Big shout outs, big thank you again, as always, to our trackers there. Our tracker today. Hi, I'm Cody there, making sure that we could keep track of exactly what was going on behind the scenes today. Other than that, well, my name's Dazed Cloud, and as always, thank you, Clear Mouse, for waking me up and making me be a part of this here.
I mean, it's always feel great if something works out, because time zones are definitely a thing, especially you're all the way around the world. So. But yeah, I think just maybe one last plug. So currently, there is actually another SpeedGaming Live match going on SpeedGaming 3. It's Ganon's Wild versus Vextifer. So I think the match actually started maybe like 25 minutes ago, something like that. So feel free to hop over when we're all done. And of course, also thank you so much, Laoria and Kyong, for basically allowing us to restream you guys. Because as Dave said, this was an awesome match. And of course, you guys are awesome runners. So all in all, it was a really great time. And of course, thank you, Dazed. It's great.
And I guess with that, we'll see you guys all next time. Take care of yourselves.
Enjoy.